I want there to be no questions whatsoever about Ukraine. Therefore, today, there are the following internal decisions. First, there will be a reboot of the office of the President of Ukraine. The head of the office, Andriy Yermak, has submitted his resignation.
A sweeping corruption probe in Ukraine has erupted into a major political crisis, with investigators raiding the home and office of President Zelensky's powerful chief of staff, Andriy Yermak. The searches come at a tense moment as Kyiv battles Russia's invasion while trying to preserve Western support and avoid political fractures at home. Ukraine's top anti-corruption agencies confirmed they executed searches at Yermak's office as part of a wide-ranging investigation into a $100 million energy sector scandal. Yermak acknowledged the raid on Telegram, stressing he was cooperating fully and allowing investigators complete access to documents and personal records. Soon after, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that his chief of staff, Andriy Yermak, had submitted his resignation amid a corruption scandal. The probe is linked to a sweeping investigation targeting corruption in wartime energy projects, where officials allegedly siphoned massive sums meant to protect infrastructure. Two of Yermak's former deputies left government last year after previous investigations scrutinized their conduct in overlapping financial scandals. A third deputy, still in office, has faced allegations of bribes and abuse of power, adding to the perception of deepening internal troubles around the presidential team. The crisis worsened this month when investigators released details of the massive energy sector scheme, prompting unrest inside Zelensky's own political bloc. Although Yermak has not been accused of wrongdoing, influential lawmakers demanded he accept responsibility to restore public trust in the government. Some warned that if Zelensky refused to dismiss Yermak, the governing party could fracture, threatening the president's parliamentary majority at a critical time. Zelensky rejected those calls and urged lawmakers to stop the political games, saying Ukraine must remain unified amid pressure to reach a deal with Russia. Yermak's influence inside the presidency is enormous, as he has accompanied Zelensky on every foreign trip since Russia launched its full-scale invasion. The latest scandal intensified after anti-corruption watchdogs revealed that officials allegedly siphoned tens of millions from wartime energy protection funds as part of a $100 million embezzlement scheme tied to Ukraine's state nuclear operator, Energoatom. At least two individuals reportedly connected to Zelensky were identified in the National Anti-Corruption Bureau probe into a wide-reaching golden toilet scheme that diverted tens of millions from wartime energy projects. One figure named was businessman Timur Mindich, a longtime associate who co-founded Zelensky's entertainment company and is accused of organizing the scheme. Investigators say the siphoned funds included kickbacks worth up to 15% of contract values routed through a secret Kyiv office used for laundering. Mindich has rejected the allegations, but he left the country hours before authorities launched their coordinated raids.
Dear Ukrainians, both men and women, just in the past few days I have already held almost 20 conversations with our partners. All of them, without exception, say, we are impressed by how Ukraine is holding on under the current pressure, how Ukraine is fighting in search of peace for its people. And in fact, this is true for everyone in Europe, at least in Europe. Today I have already spoken with the President of Finland. I informed Alex about what was said by Russia, both formally and informally, as well as about the conditions that Russia is putting forward. Now we are preparing for a meeting with the American side about the steps that are needed to ensure that peace truly comes and that it is a just peace. And when all attention is focused on diplomacy, on defense in war, inner strength is needed. Inner strength is the foundation of our external unity and our relations with the world. And in order to have inner strength, there should be no reasons to be distracted by anything other than the defense of Ukraine. I want there to be no questions whatsoever about Ukraine. Therefore, today, there are the following internal decisions. First, there will be a reboot of the office of the President of Ukraine. The head of the office, Andriy Yermak, has submitted his resignation. I am grateful to Andriy for always representing Ukraine's position in the negotiation track exactly as it should be. It has always been a patriotic stance, but I want there to be no rumors or speculation. As for the new head of the office, tomorrow I will hold consultations with those who could lead this institution. Negotiations will take place soon, and our representatives will be there. These will include the Chief of the General Staff, representatives of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council, and our intelligence service. And when we all face such an external challenge, a war, we must remain strong within. 100% of our strength will be focused on defending Ukraine. Everyone must now act precisely in the interests of our state and defend our country. This is an unchanging principle. Meetings with the American side will take place in the near future. Second, the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. I expect that the Prime Minister of Ukraine, Yulia Sviridenko, together with the members of Parliament, will ensure three things for Ukraine through dialogue and unity. The most important thing is to adopt the budget for 26. That is, to ensure our state's ability to defend itself, provide for defense, guarantee all social payments, and maintain the necessary resilience. This is what people need. I also expect candidates for the positions of Minister of Energy and Minister of Justice. The current ministers need to be evaluated in such a way as to draw absolutely clear conclusions about whether the current officials are up to the challenges of both this winter and this war. Third, I spoke with the Security Service of Ukraine so that they would conduct their own analysis of the situation in the law enforcement system and in the regions. There will soon be reports, I will make my conclusions, and there will be decisions. There is too much negativity coming from the regions. We agreed that the security service would provide me with information quickly. And of course, the army. Our soldiers are heroes. Our soldiers are destroying the enemy. And this is precisely the foundation of our ability to build diplomacy. There are problems that should have been solved a long time ago. The Commander-in-Chief, the General Staff, and Pavlo Polisa are already working on this and are preparing the relevant staff meeting for next week. First and foremost, to ensure a truly fair and rational distribution of personnel among the brigades. The principles for how to do this already exist, and every combat brigade is talking about it. There will be a decision. Thank you to everyone who stands with Ukraine. Thank you to each and everyone who is defending Ukraine now and always. I thank everyone who ensures that the pressure is put on Russia, on the cause of this war, and not on our state and people, not on Ukrainians. Ukrainians must win. That is the most important thing. Russia very much wants Ukraine to make mistakes. There will be no mistakes on our part. Our work continues, our struggle continues. We have no right not to press on, no right to retreat or to quarrel among ourselves. If we lose our unity, we risk losing everything, ourselves, Ukraine, our future. We must pull ourselves together, we must hold on. We have no other choice. We will not have another Ukraine. We are defending Ukraine.